Hi everyone, my name is Shirley Ng, and today I'm going to walk through the basics of automating processes within AppSheet Automation. AppSheet Automation allows you to digitize common business processes and document-based workflows without coding. Let's walk through the different components of automation and some of the terminology that we use. First off, each automation is called a bot, and bots are created by combining an event with a process. Events are what starts off the bot or triggers it to run. They can be based on data changes or on a schedule. Processes are jobs to be done by the bot. It's a group of steps that is performed when the event happens. And steps are specific elements within a process that are executed during the automation. Since AppSheet supports a range of use cases, there are many different types of steps in automation. Let's walk through each of them. One of the most common step types are tasks. These are used to send notifications or call scripts. They're useful for notifying users that something has been updated or something has happened. Or you can also use a task to create a file based on data in your process. Next, we have a data change. These allow you to add, delete, or update rows from a table or your data source. They can also be used to run actions that are configured in the Action tab of the editor. Branch on a condition steps allow you to use expressions to write a conditional statement for the bot to evaluate. The wait step will pause the execution of your bot for either a specific time duration or until a condition is met. This is useful if you have a process that depends on a user to do something elsewhere before the rest of the automation can be completed. Next, we have a call a process step. Processes could be linkable, meaning they can be reused in other bots. The call a process step allows you to call a linked process and reuse it here. Finally, we have return values. Remember that a group of steps form a process, and if you want that process to have an output, this is where return values are used. Return values can be used to pass data from one process to another. Now let's put that all together into an example automation. Here, I have a bot that's triggered by an update that's made in an AppSheet app on the projects table. It will then run a process to email the relevant team members about the update. Let's get into the editor to see how you would create this bot. Here, I have an app called the Project Management Sample app, and it has 3 tables connected to it. Going over to the Automation tab, I see that I already have one scheduled bot configured. This will remind me to fill out information every month regarding my OKRs. Let's create a new bot to remind me when a project has been marked off track. Creating a new bot for that, I first have to choose the event. The event I want is when a project record is updated. This suggestion looks close to my use case, so I'll choose that. Notice here that we first have to choose the table that the event should listen to and where the update is coming from. In this case, I'll be using an AppSheet app, so I chose the Event Sources app. For the data change type, it's now set to updates, but I want to further limit the types of updates I get notified about. And specifically, I want to set a condition when the status has been marked not on track. Saving that, I'll then add a process. The process that I want this bot to perform is an email. Let's create a new step called the email step and choose either embedded app view or a custom template. I'll choose the custom template for now, and it looks like AppSheet's already filled in most of the details. For the to field, since I'm still testing out my bot, I'll set it to myself. Finally, I'll save the bot to make sure that all my changes are preserved. Now I have a bot that reminds me when a project record is updated, specifically when the status is set to not on track, to send me an email. And that concludes our basics on AppSheet Automation. For more information on AppSheet, Google Cloud, and Google Workspace, check out the links in the description below. And as always, thank you for watching.